You can't please everyone. How often have you heard the phrase, you can't please everyone? Depending on who you're talking to, it's probably said somewhere in the world every single day. My name is William Baker, and let me share with you the story of my life, love, and lessons learned. I've been happily married, or so I thought, for 26 years, 3 months, and 21 days. I met Julia, the love of my life, at a Rick James concert in Cleveland, Ohio, back in 1985. She was stunning, radiant green eyes that sparkled like moonlight on a midnight lake and the sweetest smile you could imagine. She wore jeans so tight they could have been painted on, and that was the first time I truly understood what a camel toe was. I was at the concert with my brother Harry and cousin Mike. Harry's girlfriend, Sarah, could only go if her sisters tagged along, so the whole evening was a bit of a double-edged sword. Julia, the youngest sister, was my shining star. Meanwhile, Mike ended up paired with Sarah's hefty sister, Martha, who weighed 23 pounds more than me and made Mike look like a twig. But despite the awkwardness, the night was magic. Julia and I were inseparable from the start. 6 months later, we were married. Our wedding was a whirlwind of love, music, and endless dancing, lasting until 6:30 the next morning. Between vows, we shared secret moments of passion that set the tone for what I hoped would be the rest of our lives. Life together. Over 25 years flew by. I turned 46 and Julia was 45, and together we raised 4 children: William Jr., 24, Mildred, 22, Justin, 21, and Hank, 19. I wasn't crazy about the names Julia chose, but Mildred was her aunt's name, and the others came from her obsession with her favorite boy band. Happy wife, happy life, as they say, and I did my best to live by that motto. Julia aged like fine wine. She had an ageless beauty that left our friends in awe. Many found it hard to believe she was the mother of 4 grown kids. Her secret? Julia was a certified health nut, running, walking, and eating like a woman on a mission. Meanwhile, I sometimes had to rely on little blue pills from less than reputable sources to keep up with her boundless energy. The shift. When our youngest, Hank, left for college, something changed. Julia's behavior shifted, subtly at first. She became more daring, wearing revealing clothes and showing off her figure with confidence that felt both thrilling and disconcerting. At first, I thought she was trying to reignite the spark in our marriage. But then, one evening, she came home dressed in a black micro-mini skirt that screamed someone else's wife. "Julia," I began, motioning for her to sit down. She sighed, cutting me off. "William, I know what you're going to say. I just don't have time right now. I have a date tonight. We'll talk in the morning." The words hit me like a sledgehammer. "Julia? A date?" Her voice turned icy. "Listen, William. I know you're upset, but you can either go with the flow or move out. File for divorce if you want, but it'll cost you, emotionally and financially. I'll end up with half of everything, and you'll be left a lonely, broke old man." A line in the sand. She underestimated me. Over the years, I'd made my stance on infidelity abundantly clear. Cheat on me, and it's over. Period. That night, I called Harry and told him everything. He didn't seem surprised. "If it's time to put the plan in motion, let's do it," he said. You see, Julia never knew the house wasn't in my name. It was in Harry's. And Harry's house? That belonged to Mike. We devised this setup in college, anticipating that if any of us ever faced divorce, we'd be protected. The next morning, Julia came home glowing, oblivious to what awaited her. "What's going on?" she asked, eyeing the U-Haul truck in the driveway and Harry's car parked outside. Harry was blunt. "The landlord wants you out." She laughed, thinking it was a joke. But when the police arrived, the situation turned serious. After confirming I didn't own the house, they explained the law. Since her name wasn't on the title or mortgage, she had no legal right to stay. Julia glared at me as she packed her things, muttering under her breath about revenge. But I didn't flinch. Her belongings were delivered to her mother's house within the hour. The aftermath. Julia tried to sway Harry's wife, Cindy, to her side. But Cindy wasn't having it. "Harry's not perfect," she admitted, "but he's loyal, hardworking, and loves me fiercely. If you think I'd risk all that for some fleeting thrill, you're crazy. As Julia disappeared into the past, I reflected on the years we'd shared. Though the pain lingered, I found solace in knowing I'd stood firm, unwilling to compromise my values for someone who didn't respect them.